This guy's hilarious, a good friend of mine. Please, big round of applause for Big Al Gonzales.
Thank you, Jim. I also had the honor of spilling wine on Jim one time at Comedy Day, so I'll always remember that. My name is Big Al. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming out tonight. This is I love being here in San Francisco. This is a great place to be. I love it. You know, they just passed a bill here in San Francisco a couple of years ago. They want to make all the city buildings 100% solar powered within 10 years. Yeah. Yes, that is amazing. Until you realize this fact. The weather here, yeah, foggy, with a slight chance of the gay. And I tell you, you can only run a city on techno and ecstasy for so long, right? Dance, bitches, daddy needs light. I was watching C-SPAN the other night because I was high. And I thought it was a bad episode of Law and Order. I don't know if you've seen C-SPAN before, but it's a political channel where you can watch your politicians argue about laws and bills. And the night I was watching it, they were arguing about getting rid of the phrase act of terrorism and replacing it with the phrase man-made disaster. Yeah, it's kind of the same response I had. I was kind of speechless and giggled. I was like, okay, I will go with you on this, Congress. But let's be clear. If a man walks into a building and blows it up, we can all agree that that is an act of terrorism. But if a man walks into a building and shits his pants, that is a man-made disaster. That would be a whole different call to Homeland Security, right? We need a mop over here at the Pentagon. I used to be in the military. I was in the Marine Corps. And when I got, yeah, sure, I needed the money. I was in, and when I got out, I moved here to San Francisco, and it was right before I started doing comedy. And I used to get into arguments with people. People were, oh, you're in the military. I got into this one argument. This guy said, if you want to solve the problems in Iraq or Afghanistan, that they should have sent in the United Nations. And I looked at him, and being a former Marine, I said, no. If you want to solve the problems in Iraq or Afghanistan, they should have sent in the Raider Nation. Because I will tell you right now, there is nothing more freaky to Al-Qaeda than a bunch of overweight, middle-aged men running through the desert with pirate patches on their eyes, pirate flags in the air, sausage in one hand, Coors Light in the other. All they had to do was tell those Raider fanatics that Osama liked the Chargers or the Broncos. They would have found him 2 days before SEAL Team 6 and started Iraqi chapter of the Black Hole, all in the same process. Because Raider fans are nuts. They're so crazy, the next season on Survivor, instead of going to some exotic island, they're going to take them all to the Oakland Coliseum. And the first one that gets out alive wins the $1 million. I got a coupon the other day from a place called Mr. Taco. Yeah, and they claim to have 100% authentic Mexican cuisine. Mr. Taco. El Señor Taco, maybe, but not Mr. Taco. I don't think it would have been any more authentic if it came from a place called Dr. Taco, even if he had a degree in taconomics. My wife is a Midwesterner from Kentucky. Yeah, don't know. She's beautiful. I don't hate her for that. I hate her for the next thing I'm going to tell you. It's not so much hate, it was just disappointment. After we got married, she decided that she was going to make me an authentic Mexican dinner. And the first thing she decided to make was enchiladas. Enchiladas. Now, I'm not saying my wife can't make enchiladas, but she can't make enchiladas. But she's my wife, so I told her, whatever you make, I will eat. And I sat down, and she went into the kitchen, and she was cooking and chopping, and I heard sounds that sounded like enchiladas. Whatever that sound was, but that's what I heard. But my nose told me something different. I had smelled smells that I'd never smelled come out of my grandmother's kitchen before. So my feet picked me up and walked me in to investigate what my nose smelled. And we walked into the kitchen, and then my eye saw something that freaked the rest of the body out. I saw my wife take a can of cream of mushroom soup and dump it into the sauce of the enchiladas. I'm glad you're on board here with that. The white folks on this side have no clue what I'm talking about. Wait a second, Al, isn't it? That's what Paula Deen said to put in there. You put cream of mushroom soup and lots of butter. No, that is not authentic Mexican cuisine. Just so you know, the Aztecs, the Incas, the Mayans did not bring cream of mushroom soup up to the tops of the temples to worship the god Quetzalcoatl. That did not happen at any time. By the way, Quetzalcoatl's 82 points on Words with Friends. If you want to use that, go ahead. That's for you guys. But I'd never been to Kentucky before I met my wife, but all I had was preconceived notions of what Kentucky was from television. So I assumed when I went there, I was going to see toothless hillbillies eating Kentucky Fried Chicken and drinking whiskey. But I went there, and they were nothing like that. They were nothing like that. Her mother was a professor at the university. Her father was a contractor for the government. Her brother and sister were college graduates. They were nothing like I imagined. But then when her family came to California to meet my family, we were everything that they imagined. We couldn't get more Mexican. My mom took us to a Mexican restaurant, Mr. Taco, and hey, thanks a lot, ladies and gentlemen. You've been a wonderful crowd. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here on the final night. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Dan Dion, and everybody else.
Take your beer. Get your beer out of here. Big Al Gonzales right there. Tomorrow night at the Punchline. Who's going? Me? Who's going? Let's go.